Well, hey y'all, Steve at 1,000 Year Homes, welcome aboard. So my entire build site depends on this sawmill, and it's been too hot all summer long. We had 90 days, nigh on to 100 degrees in a row with no rain, just too hot to work. But the fall weather's in the air, this is on the agenda. So I've got it, maybe, I don't know, the roof's up. That feels like it's ready for me to do some work. Over there, Scott's here today. Hey Scott, hey. He's with the man's work, so. The goal is to get the sawmill itself moved today underneath the roof there. So I've got some beams to rest it on. This is recycled tin. This tin came from Camp Swift, 1940s Camp Swift, as well as other areas. But you'll see that it has some holes in it. See the holes? So we're going to plug that first. I'm going to set up the camera, let it run. I need to get a caulk gun for Scott. He'll do that work. And then we'll put in some 6x6s in the ground to hold that, and maybe we'll get that moved today. Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so Scott and I were debating when all recycled, recycled materials. To be honest, the cost of going picking it up, sorting it, fixing it, patching it, pulling the nails out, man, if you were doing this professionally, you would not use recycled materials. It wouldn't pay you anything. But as an old farmer, I've got to, I see something free on Facebook, like all this tin. Well, sure, I got time. I'll run over and get it. But the one thing we have to do is we have to go ahead and fix all the holes. So I just got this. It says roof repair, exterior sealant. That's all I'm going to use. And Scott will go walk around, and then we're just going to find the holes. That's all I'm gonna do. All right. Oh, and Scott didn't think I should be using black. Oh, look at it! Come down on my face. Come down on my face. All right. What does it look like outside when I do that, Scott? Can you see a little black dot?
No.
No. And looking up. It's not even really an eyesore, so I just patched all those. Can you even see them?
Yeah, no.
No, you can't, right? All right. Well, you saw that it wanted to drop right in my eyeballs. You got safety glasses?
Oh,
all right,
yeah,
there you go.
These are safety glasses.
All right, so, now you factor that in. Scott's not free, right? So you factor in the cost of the man to fix the hole. Suddenly, this free tin is probably twice what it would be to just go buy. Now, having said that, here's the deal though with the tin. It's all the way, some of this is all the way back to the 40s, and it's this super thick. It still hasn't rusted through, right? It's a different grade of galvanized steel than it was, and it came from the Camp Swift military barracks, so than what I could buy nowadays. Plus I get the charm of that story. So that's the benefit. Somebody who's off-grid doing their thing, that's the benefit. They get to tell this story, of redeeming stuff. So what Scott's going to do is go ahead and finish that. The rest of this video, I'll probably put you on fast forward while he goes and does this thing. And you know what? When he gets all the way done, there'll still be 10 or 15 holes. And one of those holes will just pour water straight through onto the sawmill. So I'll have to re-inspect it. I should have bought silver. I didn't see it though. That said roof caulk black. But they probably make the stuff in silver, don't they?
I'm sure.
All right. Oh no, you can't tell at all from the outside. The inside you can see a little bit, but who's going to be walking in here and looking up like that? I doubt anybody.
The odds are nobody looks up.
Yeah, nobody's going to look up. So these are perfect. Anyway, it wasn't a cost savings to use old 2x4s at all. Not a cost savings in the remotest. So what happened, there was a flea market here in town, and they're tearing down the booths and setting up the store for something else, and all of the wood was in the alley. So when I saw that, I said, I'll haul that off for you. And, so I made a friend of a business owner, and we still talk to this day. So I made a friend of the business owner. But when we were ripping nails out of it and moving it, I moved it a half dozen times. 2x4 is $3.50, right? And I prefer treated anyway. Some of these were treated, some of them weren't, they're not my cup of tea. But anyway, I got all these 2x4s that I'll use around here for free. I don't think we saved money on the 2x4s, I'll tell you that. But I made a friend and I did a good deed. So, all right. All yours, Scott.
All right.
Hey, I see a couple of them that are weird underneath the joists. Like,
Right.
I saw a weird one here, right? So maybe try to...
Yeah. Oh.
And again, one day during a rainstorm, I'll inspect it. All right, I am going to get the truck. What I've decided is these boards I'm going to use in between, since they're the right length. And if I need to get more 6x6 by 12 or 10 for the end pieces, I will.
Right.
Oh, this is longer. Drive all the way through and see if it'll fit. I don't remember driving all the way through. Yeah, it's no problem, is it? As long as the headache bracket's down.
Also, has anybody ever done anything like this before? Is there an easier way? Because, yeah, it's, I feel like I'm wasting more material than I am fixing the holes. But, anyways.
All right, so y'all saw I got in here and leveled the floor a little bit. Now, people who build these for a living would say, Steve, why didn't you level the floor first? Well, it's because these are actually, the roof is suspended on live trees, and the live cedar trees go all the way down to the ground, and they had like a 20-foot ring about them of sucker branches. So what we did one day when I had man help is I cut the sucker branches off the trees and put up this log with that little tractor of mine, and Anthony helped me with that. Stacy helped me with that. I don't know if Scott was out when I did that or not. But anyway,
We were just before that.
we didn't have time to. There wasn't a floor to level, so then I built it up, and so now I'm at the floor level at a stage, and not too bad, for a first pass. So the goal, listen, when you do a sawmill, you can't have variations in the rails because then your logs, as you cut them, will have those same variations. So it can't be tilted. It's got to be level. So now the ground isn't what's going to make it level. The posts that I bury in the ground, the rails, supports will make it level. You'll see. But let me rake that out. I want to be able to start with a reasonably level floor so that as I use a 4, 5, or 6 foot level, I could just eyeball level and not have to get lasers out and all of that. You know, Texas is nothing but dust, Scott. Everywhere I go, whatever I touch, dust. Man, and then I thought that this sugar sand would just, you know, and it's still too hard. And I pulled my rake apart. That's how Texas works.
Yeah.
The soil's too hard for me to move, and so it wrecks my rake. That darn Texas. This old rake's the one that I end up using the most on Texas soil. It's you know, landscape scarification rake. So this one's been with me for a while.
I did ask them though if they know of any easier way of doing this.
Oh no, look at your hands. I told you needed gloves.
Well, I had gloves, but
Man, that's going to be hard. I
it's
got
gonna
jump
mess up
gloves
the-
right there, my friend.
it's alright.
Because the gun part got sticky after a while.
It did. It's like no.
And then I have the nitrile ones for painting. Yeah, that's the problem with the patience, right? Men aren't very patient. They're like, I could either spend an hour and a half washing my hands at the end, or I could spend 5 seconds getting gloves on right now.
Exactly. I want to stop what I'm doing and try to look for something, or just.
I see a bunch of them here. Underneath that.
Yeah, underneath that.
There.
I'm kind of going like down
are ya?
rows.
You got it. Never mind. Look at it. That's the thing. Mind my own business. Captain Obvious right there.
It's all good though.
Alright. That'll do. That'll do.
But it does seem like it's a lot easier doing it this way by putting up.
Yeah, a little dab on the end of your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It comes off. Everything's washable.
Well, I mean, some of it's level. But as I run out here, this feels like the floor is dropping
Yep.
quite a bit. So my idea is to dig the logs out and bury them there. And as I come out, I'll have to bury them less and less and less.
Yep.
Rather than worry about grading this whole thing.
Yep.
Alright. What do I need next? I need a tape measure.
Yeah, wasn't this supposed to be like a kind of a semi-test for your...
Yeah, it's a test for my roof. That's why it's suspended from those trees to those. So 34 or 38 foot, and I got a 6 or 8 inch deflection in there. But that's been up through now a year, and a couple of hurricanes that were blowing down other trees did not blow that poor sway back little barn down. All right, so moving on to this. This is the next little project. So you'll see that the rails come apart, and I've unbolted them all already. Well, not all. I see there are bolts right there I need to undo. So the goal is to unbolt this, and then we'll block it in so it doesn't roll off the rails. And I'll move the rails with the sawmill underneath. So what I need is I need the total length of all the rails, as well as the length, width, height of this, so that I know I can get it underneath that, which is something I haven't looked at before, but I'm pretty sure it'll fit. I might have looked at it. I think I looked at it. Well, we ran out of time today, so the subject matter, I was hoping to get the sawmill moved. The subject matter was recycled tin, is it worth it or not? And man, if you're a professional builder, it's not worth it, right? It's just not, because look at, you know, we had to patch. You saw that I was doing that, leveling the ground. You know, the sawmills move forward. I'm not begrudging that at all. I'm just saying, as a guy who was, if I was doing this to make a living instead of doing this after my work hours, Scott's gone now. The sawmill's too heavy for me to risk moving all by my lonesome. Even with the sawmill, it rolls a little bit. So, you know, I'll have to wait for another day. But so far, I've spent $380 on this 38-foot long building. So there's the benefit, right? It would be thousands and thousands of dollars, but it comes at the cost of time. Let's take a look. So Scott got all the way done, and the holes are patched. They're not offendable at all in the least. You know, you hardly even notice them when you're underneath it. There's bigger fish to fry in the world than worrying about, you know, that little tar spot. From your normal eye view as you're going underneath here, you don't notice it anyway, right? And so you don't notice that. I see there's a couple of holes there on the side of the building I don't care about. But anyway, getting this leveled, I need to get the footings down for the sawmill. That doodad there, it rolls. It's on rails, so I'll clamp it and do it. But when I move it, I think I want somebody else that can help me get it set on the footings and whatnot, rather than try to fumble it all myself. So anyway, recycled material. I love recycled materials. I'm not dishing on recycled materials. I'm trying to build a 1,000-year home. So anytime I run into something that's already almost 100 years old, a lot of this tin above me is from the 1940s, right, during World War II. So because it's so, you know, from the 40s, it's already almost 100 years old, right? Going on 70 plus years old. So that gives me 10% of my vision is, which is a 1,000-year home. Trying to build a house that lasts 1,000 years. Also, you know, colloquially, this is quaint. It's obviously old. It'll look like it's been here 100 years. I got a little sway back in it even. I like it. I like the little, not so much that it's whimsy, but that it looks appropriate for rural off-grid Texas. I'm digging it. So, and then I have the stories, right? I have the story of the Camp Swift World War II tin. I'll put the link up on that video so you can watch that while I was recycling it. I gathered a lot of the timber from a flea market, and I made a friend, right, out of the business owner, and we still visit to this day. So enjoyed that. There's benefits that are a bit more than just money in building something, right? But they're benefits that come from a guy like me that is enjoying the off-grid journey. So if you like the journey of the build, then sure, recycled materials. $380 for a 38-foot, and that's all I've spent so far. And I've got almost all the wood and lumber to finish it, so it'll only cost me fasteners and time. But Scott's gone, I'm on my own, so I'm going to move on to a different project. Didn't get as far as I wanted on that sawmill today. That's the downside of recycled materials. There's a lot more time involved. All right, like, subscribe, follow me along. Bye.